The elites have made people work. That's why you say you spend time.
Nikola Tesla did this because he understood the universe is mental, and by washing his hands 3 times, walking around the block 3 times, he was doing ritual work on his mind. Rituals are structured actions designed to restore order in the mind and reinforce conscious control over thoughts and the mind. Because 90% of our behavior on a daily basis come from the repeating programs and cycles inside of the subconscious mind. Rituals work by using repetition, symbolism, and intention to interrupt unconscious habits and replace them with a deliberate pattern. These rituals operate on the subconscious, which responds to symbols and repeated actions. Nikola Tesla and the Freemasons use the number 3 in rituals because it represents a complete cycle. If you do something once with intention, the subconscious ignores it. If you do something twice, maybe a coincidence. But the 3rd signal, the subconscious notices a pattern and starts to memorize it and ingrain it into its belief system. While Nikola Tesla was doing things 3 times, he would hold a mental intention in his mind, and he is actively trying to produce order in his subconscious and reprogram it to his desired outcome.
And that's how they trap your soul in reincarnation. Not because someone made you reincarnate, but because you reincarnate yourself. Before you die, you must detach yourself from all physical desires, because when your body dies, you are stripped of the physical reality, and you are left with the internal, with your thoughts, desires, programs, addictions. If you do not release these traumas, addictions, and desires of the material world, then you will carry them over into the spiritual plane. These desires and addictions cannot be fulfilled in a spiritual plane. Therefore, your consciousness is not ready to progress on towards higher dimensions. Therefore, you manifest yourself because you desire the physical things back into the 3D reality. You have to let go and make your heart as light as a feather. The easiest way to prepare yourself for life after death is by
The easiest way to tell if a corporation is associated with Freemasonry is called the concept of 3 and 4. McDonald's, the M is the 3 and the square is the 4, 3 and 4. Dominoes, 1, 2, 3 dots inside of a rectangle, 4 sides. The 3 and the 4 come from the Masonic square and compass. The compass has 3 points, and the square creates a square which is the number 4. So this is 3 and 4. The Masons even put this in their architecture. The roof is a 3, which is the triangle, and your 4 pillars below. The 3 and the 4 is basically looking at the compass and the square.
If you want to become successful, you have to understand the pentagram, because this reveals the secret of how spirit turned into a material reality. When you draw a pentagram, it's descending down from spirit to fire to air to water to earth to spirit. It's one continuous line expressed in 5 different ways. You don't lift your pencil off the paper, symbolizing the process of spirit turning into a material reality. This is why this is associated with magic, because each element is symbolic for an aspect of you. Spirit is the divine source where all things emanate from. First descends into fire, which represents the willpower. The will then manifests down into air, which is the mind, the intellect, thinking. Then that manifests down into water, which is emotion, desire, care. That manifests into the earth, which is your physical body, where you take action. Emanates from the source, you have willpower, thought, you have a care, and if you have a care, you take the physical action. And that's how all creation is manifested into a material.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your people believe?
It's very hard to explain. We do not believe in any individual god or gods, but rather we believe that the soul is a non-localized phenomenon.
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
Well, if I project a beam of light at the wall, you see the light on the wall, but the wall is not the source of the light. It comes in from somewhere else. The soul is also a projection. It does not exist inside us any more than the light exists inside the wall. But this shell is the only way we can perceive it.
We believe that the universe itself is conscious in a way we can never truly understand. It is engaged in a search for meaning. So it breaks itself apart, investing its own consciousness in every form of life. We are the universe, trying to understand.
If you've ever watched Stranger Things, then you might have missed this scene where they show you the truth. Only if humanity could understand what they are trying to show you here. This is what we call the Pegasus, and if you go to London, you'll see this symbol absolutely everywhere. It's such a mysterious symbol, but it reveals such a deep, powerful truth to every individual that can help your life. The Pegasus is not just a random mysterious symbol. We all know that the occult runs the world. Symbols rule the world. Symbols are everywhere. And by now you should understand that. But this symbol in the occult is very, very important. It's a ground animal, a horse, with an air animal, wings, a bird. And it's lifting off the ground. So in the occult, this represents man's liberation from base consciousness, ascending towards higher consciousness, from the ground to the sky, from a ground animal to an air animal, because the bird can fly above. It sees things from above. It sees things from a higher perspective. It sees the whole. Therefore, it's symbolic, going from the ground, which is low awareness, to higher awareness and higher perception of the self, reality, and the universe, and learning about the secrets of consciousness and the human psyche. We see this inside the devil. The devil is a ground animal, but then the angel has wings, because the wings represent higher self and the ground animal represents the lower self. So this is literally symbolic of the ascent of consciousness. Jews are so rich because they understand Cabala. So Judaism is just a religion, but on the back end of Judaism, you have what you call Cabala, just like how Christianity has Christianity, and on the back end of Christianity, you have Gnosticism. It's the mystical version of Judaism. And the Cabala pretty much teaches you the diagram and the blueprint of how consciousness creates reality. Because in Cabala, they don't teach you like Christianity, where God created the world thousands of years ago and now you are just experiencing the world. Cabala is the complete opposite. Cabala teaches you that the world is not created, but creating in the present moment. Creation is being created by God in the present moment, and you are a co-creator with that source. You are also contributing towards steering this creation into a specific agenda. So in Cabala, they teach you how to use these different forces of consciousness and how to manifest them down into Malkuth, which is Earth. It's a blueprint of how consciousness turns into reality. So the reason why Jews are so rich is because they understand how the material world is created, and they desire to create material things through the teachings of Cabala. You don't have back pain. You have trauma in your nervous system. Nervous system stores trauma. Every time you fall over, your body tenses up to brace for the impact. Every single tension and brace we have experienced through our lives is stored somewhere within our nervous system. If this tension is not released, it can manifest as a physical sensation such as back pain, joint aches, or even disease. This is because your body is an electrical energetic system. Before there are physical problems with your body, there are energetic problems in your field. If the energy is not flowing correctly, it will manifest in the body as a physical sensation. Matter is created by energy. Energy comes first. This is why yoga is so important. Yoga stretches out the nervous system and releases any energetic problems, allowing energy and electricity to flow freely. The church calls yoga demonic because they don't want you to understand your etheric body. You are not just a physical being. You have many different dimensions. There's so much more that goes into this. So here's Osiris next to the human brain, and you can see clearly that this is representing human anatomy. And if we look at the story of Osiris, Osiris in his story, in his mythologies, he died and resurrected, which is symbolic of the spiritual process of awakening. Why? Because Osiris represents the midbrain, which is your reptile brain, the animalistic state of consciousness,
And this is the state of consciousness that we must raise from. And we have to symbolically kill ourselves, removing who we think we were, because we're stuck in the reptile brain, in order to ascend to a higher mind. So, the story of Osiris is actually about death and resurrection, escaping your lower mind towards the higher mind. And this is why he's known as the god of the underworld, because the underworld is your reptile brain where consciousness can't really create. It's stuck in a survival state of reaction. That's the crazy reason why they call it the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's because consciousness is threefold in nature. The soul expresses itself, its energy, in three ways. Through the mind, through the emotions, through the physical body. Thought, emotion, and action. The three bodies of consciousness. The three ways the soul expresses itself. So the Father would be the mind, the Creator God. The Holy Spirit would be the emotions, the divine feminine, love. And Jesus would represent the physical body. They actually represent your consciousness, not an external God. And that's why religion is basically an iceberg. On the surface level, it represents something that gives you great morals and a basic understanding of life. But when you go deeper, when you understand psychology and consciousness, you see the same thing that religious people see, but on a deeper level. And you understand it personally, not just externally. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac sign. So here you can see Scorpio at the genital area all the way up to Aries, but you can see it a little bit more clearly if I show you this image. So Aries is the ram's horn symbol, and you can see the ram's horns in your brain. This is called the hippocampus, which is all to do with memory. And what's interesting is that computers, their memory is called RAM, coming from Aries, the hippocampus. Then you have Capricorn. Capricorn rules the kneecaps. That's why they're called caps for Capricorn. Then you have Gemini. Gemini is the two twins, symbolized by the two twin pillars. And the two twins on your body are your arms and your lungs. Then you have Sagittarius, which is interesting. Sagittarius is the half human, half horse, and the word horse in Greek means hippo. So it comes from Greek hippo, meaning hips. This is why you call them hips. And what's interesting is the core of your body is ruled by Libra, and Libra is the balance between summer and winter. So this is all your balance point here. So it's interesting that your body is reflecting the image of the universe. Man is a measure of the universe experiencing itself. It really is interesting when you look into this.
Here are 3 signs to know whether you're existing on a higher consciousness or a lower consciousness. Number 1, you no longer react to the external world. Those who have a higher consciousness understand that the outer world is the effect, while the mind is the cause. Reacting to the external world reinforces a cycle of negative manifestation. If you can change something, then change it. If you cannot change it, then change your mental attitude towards it. Do not complain. That is the mindset of a person with higher consciousness. Number 2, they do not identify with fleeting events, emotions, and thoughts. They recognize that they are not the mind, but the one who observes it. By resting in this awareness consciousness, they are no longer deceived by the illusions the mind can create. They identify not with the changes, but with the silent witness that remains oneness. Finally, number 3, they do not see people as threats. A person with a higher consciousness walks down the street and does not judge anyone or criticize them in their mind. They see everyone as a reflection of themselves. We are all one witnessing consciousness, with minds shaped by different events, memories, and beliefs. But at their deepest levels, we are all one.
And that's why they keep you constantly distracted with external things.
because they don't want you to know that your body is the most advanced technology on the earth, and that your mind is in charge of 50 trillion cells that religiously obey every thought command that you project. You are literally in charge of a universe inside of you. But they want you to think rocket ships and iPhones are very advanced technology. But look at yourself. No one can replicate the human body.
The North Pole of Saturn, you have the hexagon, which is basically a cube. This is where you get the black cube of Saturn from. The color black is associated with Saturn because Saturn rules the winter time. That's why we have the black cube of Saturn, which can be found on the Jew's head or in Mecca. And when you graduate from university, you wear a black square on your head. Saturn is known as the god of time. Your body has a limited amount of time in this physical dimension. However, your soul lives forever. In the ancient myths, Saturn was the god of the physical world because time rules the physical world. A hexagram of Saturn can turn into a 6-pointed star. 6 points, 6 mini triangles, and 6 sides. 6, 6, 6. There are 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, and 24 hours in a day. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666. If you add up the opposite number on the clock, it always adds up to 6. 12 take away 6 is 6. 1 take away 7 is 6. Internet is www. World Wide Web, which means vav 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 666. Physical reality or the physical body is the cube. You can either move left, right, forwards, backwards, upwards, and down. You are the cube. You are not your physical body. You have many other higher dimensions of consciousness, such as the mind, the astral plane, and the etheric plane. That's why we say think outside the box, because the box is the physical world and your mind can operate in these higher dimensions. Most of these religions have Saturn symbolism to make you worship time and the physical body in the physical world. If you want to have an out-of-body experience, then follow the instructions that Stranger Things is giving you. The reason why 11 goes into a salt water bath, because this is just one method to dissolve the senses of the nervous system. When you dissolve the body and no longer feel the body by remaining very still, and you dissolve the mind, you enter a trance. You know that moment just before you drift off to sleep, you're half awake and half asleep? This is what you call a trance, and when you dissolve the mind and body, you connect with pure awareness, and this allows you to have an out-of-body experience, a lucid dream, or even astral projection into an astral realm.
3i Atlas, the alien spaceship that's supposedly on the way to Earth and supposedly gonna bring aliens. But where did they get the name Atlas from? Well, this is the Greek god Atlas holding up the heavens, and if you take a closer look, we see the human skull holding up by the Atlas cervical, the last vertebrae on your spine, because the heavens is in your head. Head is heaven, heel is hell, earth is heart. You can't access the heavens through a space rocket because there is no space to go. We live in an enclosed system, and the way you access the heavens is by astral projecting, because reality exists in your mind. What you're experiencing is a simulation produced by your brain. So let's wake up, people. Let's study the symbolism of why they keep showing us these rabbit droppings of pieces of information. Look deeper and you'll find the truth.
Created to be a slave by the Anunnaki gods, but it goes much deeper than its surface level story. Anunnaki can be broken down into Anu, Na, and Ki. Anu was the supreme god of the sky, which represents spirit. Ki was the goddess of the earth. Anu and Ki came together, got married, and they gave birth to the Anunnaki, which is symbolic of the story of your soul descending into matter. You have a spiritual nature and a physical animal nature. The invisible voice inside your mind is the spirit, the eternal creative power, and your physical body is the material animal. The inner soul in your mind manifested itself into a physical body. Anu and Ki never existed. This is the story of how your soul manifested into a physical reality. How Anu, your spirit, came down to Ki and got married to the physical body and materialized into the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, your nervous system, that allows you to experience duality. All of these ancient stories are talking about you, because you are the divine manifested in a physical form.